and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then I just want to say, hey, my name is Lara and this channel is all about productive and purposeful living. So if this feels like something you're keen to get on board with, then feel free to subscribe and ring the bell and you will be notified of when I upload. It is every Thursday. Today we are talking about things that I no longer buy as a minimalist. A little while ago, I realized that there's a bunch of things that I don't purchase anymore, but that I used to, habitually, all the time. And this is all because I started the minimalist lifestyle and I began to realize the true value of what comes in and out of my home. So if you're beginning your minimalist journey or you simply want to cross a couple of things off your shopping list that aren't necessities in life, then stick around, I've got a couple of things for you. Number one is plastic bags. Now this may be specific to Australia, but I know that plastic bans are in a lot of other countries, so I thought I'd put it number one. Pretty much what happened is Australia instituted a plastic bag ban. So what this means is you need to either bring your bags into the shops with you, or if you don't bring your own, if you forget, then you will have to purchase some there. And remembering to put a really small roll-up plastic bag, reusable bag, in every backpack that I own. I have 3 that are tucked into little pockets in the car, so no matter where I go, I have one on me. Simply by starting this habit, I've saved myself that clutter and I've also saved myself that like $1 per shop. Number 2 is bottled drinks. And I used to be terrible for this. It was my favorite kind of like little, only cost a couple of dollars surplus spending thing that I would do. I'd be like, oh, I really am feeling worn down today. I'm going to get myself an iced tea. I'm going to get myself a Powerade. I'm going to get myself a juice. So by carrying my big, huge reusable water bottle everywhere, I never have to worry about being so dehydrated that I'm craving sugary things, or so tired that I'm craving sugary things. Because weirdly, the majority of the time that you want a sugary beverage, it's because you're dehydrated. And the best way to get rehydrated is water. If, however, you're making this jump and it's a bit terrifying because you may or may not still already have like a little bit of a simmering sugar addiction, been there, don't worry about it, then I would recommend putting a little bit of fruit into your water bottle, or even at the start a little dash of cordial, just so it doesn't seem like such a crazy leap to make. Next is lunch add-ons. So what I mean by this is when you go out to lunch, you don't just buy your meal, you also buy, I will also have the peach iced tea on the side, I will also have a dessert afterwards, rather than just getting the meal and tap water. So all of these add-ons do add up. Along that same vein is buying alcohol out. So I used to do this a lot, but I am lucky enough. I'm not sure if lucky is the right word. I have an incredibly sensitive stomach for alcohol. Incredibly. I'm talking like not at all feeling any kind of effects, but I can vomit within the first 3 to 4 drinks. Alcohol has never really been my friend. However, I had a birthday party where I supplied alcohol for a lot of people because it was my 30th, hooray! And I ended up with like a lot of leftovers, like a stupid amount of leftovers. So now I've started the habit again of what I did at university, which is pre-drinking. And I'm realizing how much money that ends up saving us. Or even just having people over for drinks and sitting out on the deck instead of going out saves so much. One of the next things that I no longer buy is kitchen gadgets. I used to be a huge fan of kitchen gadgets, and I bet you probably were too if you aren't still. And it wasn't until we did our declutter, in fact to move into this house that we're in at the moment, when I realized how few of those things we use. For the most part, all of the jobs that a kitchen gadget can do, so can a really good sharp knife. And it's way easier to clean too. Small bottle cleaners. So small bottle cleaners are just cleaning products that you purchase in tiny little containers. The best example I've got is hand soap. We used to buy a new pump bottle of hand soap every time it ran out. Which then realizing when I started to think about how much waste we generate, how much things we use, how important it is to have blank blank and the other thing, that is just stupid. It's also like an incredible amount way more expensive to buy them that way than to buy the really big refill jugs. And then you can just refill the same pump-up bottle every time. So as a whole, I've tried to stop doing small, containered cleaning products, and instead I try and buy in bulk wherever I can. And if I can't buy in bulk, the other thing to look for is concentrates. So if they are concentrates, it just means that you need to use less of it. So it still comes in a small package, but it packs a way bigger punch. Number 7, because I remembered counting, is paper towels. So ages ago in the list I compiled, I talked about how I purchased these reusable paper towels. Well, they're not paper towels, they're pretty much just cloth wipes, but they come in like a cute little spoolie. And I love them. It has now been like a year at least since I made that video and since I purchased them, and they are a godsend. So because they are cloth, I can use them on like much harder surfaces. I regret nothing about having those. If you're going to make a switch, I'd recommend it. Love them to death. Number 8 is home decor. So I found myself getting all of these little things, and then I would bring in a bunch because I saw them cheap on Facebook Marketplace or at the op shop. And then I'd come home and be like, okay, I just bought like 3 more pillows, but we already have 18. I don't know where I'm gonna put these cushions, so I guess I'll just put them there. And then we ended up with an abundance of decor items that I just ended up reselling. Number 9, and again, it's ironic considering this area that I film in our house is possibly the one that's most full of them, is knickknacks. I don't buy knickknacks. In fact, I've always kind of hated knickknacks. I also really like to do little thoughtful gifts for my husband, and I used to do these all the time, and ironically, a lot of the time they were knick-knacky. So now when I do it, I will instead buy consumables or things that aren't tangible. So stuff like, I'll buy him a digital version of a game. Stuff that still might be thoughtful in what it actually is, but also thinking about it not taking up space. It's not coming in as a clutter item. While we're talking about gift giving, number 10 is wrapping paper. So a long time ago, I stopped buying wrapping paper because one Christmas I noticed the ginormous bag full of wrapping paper that literally was single use and then just got chucked. And that broke my heart. It was like this huge, massive garbage bag full, like my height worth of garbage bag full of wrapping paper. So then I decided that I was going to try and reuse wrapping paper. Since last Christmas, however, I found a much better method which I like a lot more. It is the Japanese method of furoshiki, which is wrapping gifts in cloth, which I find is just a little bit more unique, and it's just a little bit nicer, and it being fabric, it is so reusable. And bonus, occasionally people really like the fabric that you've wrapped in and they get themselves a bonus scarf. Number 11 is physical books. I would buy like a new book every 3 weeks or something stupid, which means I ended up with a ton of physical books. So instead, by purchasing something like Audible and doing an Audible subscription, I can get all of that value still without any of the clutter. Number 12 is stationery. If you have learned anything about me by now, it is that I like to be organized. That's entirely what this channel is about. It's about being thoughtful and it's about being organized. So I had an abundance of stationery. I had way too many notebooks that had like 3 pages full in them. I had pens, I had highlighters, I had whiteboard markers, I had texters, I had pencils, I had like 18 erasers, I had like 3 packs of blue tack. I had like a stupid amount of stuff because I kept stationery in random pockets in the house, so I never really noticed how much I had. And now all the stationery, conveniently, is stored in one place so I can see how much we have. So if I need stationery, I look in that one spot, and it's only if I don't already own it, which, let's be real, highly unlikely. The point is, I don't buy it anymore because I have so much banked, and until I am out, I've set a rule that I do not restock. Number 13 is subscriptions. So I analyze these once every 3 months, and if it actually hasn't been useful for my business, for my growth in that amount of time, then I will remove that subscription. Number 14 is renewing your phone and your laptop. I think way too many people upgrade their digital stuff purely because it's trendy or it's this weird level of status. If you have good people around you, they won't really care what kind of phone you have. So I still have my iPhone 6 and it works really, really well. It in fact is perfect apart from the cracked screen. Number 15 is clothing. If you're new here, you may not know. If you've been here before, then you 100% know I am obsessed with my capsule wardrobe. I love it so much. It's why you've seen this shirt a bazillion times, and same with these earrings. And this watch. If you don't know what a capsule wardrobe is, I'll link some stuff here and there and down here for you. But the point of the story is it's excellent because it is curated. So because it's a curated wardrobe, when I go out to buy new clothes, which, let's be real, doesn't happen very often, I know exactly what is in my wardrobe. I know exactly what my style is. I know exactly what shirts will or will not match the amount of pants that I have. So I won't impulse buy this style that I automatically like because I know what's in my wardrobe. The same goes for shoes. Unless it's broken, I won't replace. And unless it's needed, I won't buy it. While we're on that subject, same goes for accessories. It's why you've seen a bunch of these earrings, this watch, you've seen a bunch of my beanies, you've seen the bandanas that I own. I don't really purchase new versions of this because I don't need them. I've found the stuff that I really like, and until they get worn out or unnecessary, I don't change them. Number 17 on the list of things that I no longer buy since becoming a minimalist is makeup and makeup removers. So I went through this weird phase, considering someone who doesn't really wear makeup that much, of loving makeup and buying a ton of it and still not wearing it that much. So then I started to go, okay, here's a rule, no more new makeup until I get rid of all of this. And I'll probably insert a clip here of just how much makeup I've got. It's stupid. The same thing goes for makeup removers and makeup wipes and everything involved with taking it off again. So ages ago, again, when I was making my list of reusable alternatives, I will link that again, like here and up there and down there. One of them was halo sponges, and I am in love with halo sponges. Halo sponges, all they need, it's a reusable sponge, like a little circular pad. I'll go grab one now, hold up. So all you do is put warm water on these and the whole thing comes off. Liquid lipstick comes off with these. They're amazing. I couldn't figure out any wipe, any kind of removers that perfectly got rid of liquid lipstick. This is the trick. Which means by using these, because it takes everything off, I don't need makeup wipes, I don't need makeup removers, I don't need cotton wool little pad things. Just by having these, it saves me so much. Amazing. Number 18 is beauty services. So beauty services, I'm talking about things like waxing, laser, hair extensions, eyelash extensions, mani-pedis. These services are crazy expensive, and when you think about it, if you're doing all of them, one on top of each other, it is costing you hundreds of dollars per month. And I know this because when I was doing bodybuilding, it cost me hundreds of dollars per month. So now I have one beauty service, and that is I get my hair cut once every 6 to 8 weeks, and we're good to go. One of the other things that I no longer buy, and I am so happy about no longer having to buy, is tampons and pads, or anything period related really, because I have Thinx period proof underpants, and they are amazing. I did a whole test thing about these a while back now. When I first bought them, I still have them, I am still in love with them. These underpants work way better than any of the other products I've ever used. I'm talking about the ability to wear on day 1, 2 of my cycle, being able to wear white shorts with these period proof underpants because there is zero leakage, nothing, nada. There will be no spotting anywhere. They are so secure, I wear them during my circus shows if I'm on my cycle. And if you know anything about circus, you're kind of flailing about and flicking things everywhere, and you also don't really wear much. So they are so incredibly awesome and completely reusable, yay environment. Number 20 on the list of things that I no longer buy is the contraceptive pill. So rather than be on a medication my entire life, I have decided that now I no longer am in charge of contraception for my relationship, my husband is in charge of it. And whatever that means, whatever choice that is for his body, he gets to make. The same way I did research and I thought about what I'm going to use for my body, the onus is now on him, he is now in charge of it, it is now his responsibility. There are many reasons I decided to stop buying these things as a minimalist. Some of it was just to stop frivolous spending and increase my savings. Some of it was to remove clutter in my home. Some of it was to support the environment. There are so many reasons to do it, and all of them are win-win-win. It's very rarely only the one of them. And if you are interested in more intentional and purposeful living, then do subscribe and keep up with what I am doing. I do post every Thursday. Feel free before you leave to leave me a comment, like the video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for hanging out. Peace.